Hello, my wonderful elevated souls, and welcome to my channel. My name is Talea at Open Box Oracle 1811. These oracle readings are not only for you, but for me as well, because oracle and tarot readings are meant to be self-reflective initially, and whoever it doesn't resonate with, you might be just going along for the ride. Welcome. This spread is always meant for current energies, not past or future, unless the spirit unfolds it that way. So, it's been a while since I've done a full reading. I know people are pressed for time at this time in their lives, so I've been doing a lot of mini reads, doing the shorts. Been guided to do so, but also I feel like I can get the message across because people view those more so than the actual read. But today is, oh goodness, what is today? And I usually journal every day, so let me see. I know this is pretty bad, but time is going so fast that I just lose track of time and the date. I guess it's the 12th, April 12th, 2026. And I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I just been trying to do a little tidying up. I can't seem to be rested. There's something going on with the energies, I guess, because everything's moving so fast, and I'm an earth sign, so I always want things to go slower because that's just the nature of earth signs, but I have to go with the flow of things. But I just feel like if I rush, I overlook things, so I'm just trying to keep a steady pace. I think everybody should feel that way. Keep a steady pace, even if it's going fast, because you don't want to overlook things moving too quickly. I pulled the overall card last. This is know that whatever decision you made, it was the right one, and that's from the higher self or future higher self oracle deck. This is a love read. I feel like I'm currently going through this, so some of this is also resonating with me, and I hope it resonates with you all. It says love can conquer everything, which it can. I believe that too. So with that card, it makes me feel that there's hope for this relationship. The next card is observe. Notice all the noteworthy things in your relationship. So you're probably reflecting. I don't feel like they're in communication right now. The divine masculine and divine feminine. I guess I'm going to go ahead and say this is a twin flame read, even though I want to reject that idea because of the fact that there was some things that had me questioning the twin flame, because to me it kind of looks like at times karmics. But this one wonderful reader, she said, this kind of made me change my mind on that somewhat, was when she said that if that twin flame, if the divine masculine or feminine isn't trying, if they're not working towards union, then they're not I don't know if she's saying that they're not a twin flame, but to me they wouldn't be, because if they're not even trying to work towards it, I feel like they would be a karmic. But that would be the sign that you would know that this is. So if you're not in communication with this person, if they're trying to work towards the union, then that's somebody that is a twin flame. So you're observing the all the good things in the relationship, that, you know, you both had good understanding on things. You felt the vibration of that person because you resonated with each other, and you observed that in this union study. Now, also, this is not for low vibrational relationships. This is for people who are mature in their energy, and they're working towards their mission in this life. That's something that, you know, I don't like to use collective, because collective can be anybody. And to me, an elevated soul is just somebody who totally understands this type of work, and they're working towards them, you know, their own healing and for others. So the next card is study. Let love show you how to learn from each other. Which in observance, I think that's also, the cards go hand in hand, because they're both probably in reflective energies, where they're thinking of each other. They're seeing the patterns and things like that, at least the positive ones anyway. They don't have no ill will towards each other. Even if one messed up, they don't have any like negative talk about them or thoughts about them. Synchronicity, divine soul matches have amazing moments of synchronicity. So I think that because they're both telepathic, I think that they go through the same things. It might look different, but they might even be thinking about somebody at the same time, like 11:11, and you know, at that time they might be thinking of each other or something like that. Especially if the one understands that, you know, they understand what synchronicities are, and the other one may not, but they just subconsciously they move like that. We got recognition. The universe will help you recognize signs and miracles. Yeah, they see patterns and, you know, signs of a person. And I feel like these two go hand in hand as well. That's wild, because we got love here, and these two go hand in hand, and these two go hand in hand. I just think that's pretty amazing. They're definitely twin flame, and they definitely are in sync with each other. That's why we have this synchronicity. But what had happened was, and I can say that because this has happened to me, so I definitely resonate with this. There was some rejection. The person felt abandoned, and they don't know what's going on, so they have this irrational fear. They actually both do. They both feel dismissed and abandoned, because there's probably a third party, most likely. So whatever it could be, a third party, like it could be another person, family, friends, thinking that you shouldn't even deal with this person, or the other person, you know, listening to family and friends, and or just flirting. The breaking point came when that person, and for me, I'm going to say divine feminine, felt like they felt this was the final straw, because there was things that had already been kind of shady in the past, but the breaking point was, oh, you're online flirting. I feel rejected, abandoned, dismissed, and that was an irrational fear. But you can't always trust what the internet, what people do on social media is neither, because it's always like, a lot of the times anyway, a person not being who they really are, you know. So it might look one way, but it's really not, you know. So, but that person doesn't know. So to them, that's a breaking point. Like, I'm not going to keep going through this, or I'm not going to get hurt type feeling. So this is kind of what it had happened with this line. So they're both beautiful people, kind-hearted people. They see the beauty in each other, and this is part of the study. But this, what the breaking point is, they were observing online what was going on, you know. But then they were also seeing the negative side. The love is, that's why they can conquer everything through this rejection. But anyway, they're studying each other's beauty and charm and gracefulness. They see that as a quality. That's the attraction as well. But then they have, through their synchronicities, the realizations. Like I said, it could be like 11:11. But I feel like the masculine, this is more of a masculine, they're getting epiphanies and understandings and awakenings because of this breaking point when they had put up that final straw and they stopped communication. So they're getting these epiphanies and realizations. And but like I said, they both study each other. And this is what's gonna make some changes through this realization, because this breaking point made them have this realization and understandings and awakenings. So the next card is karma. And this is like, I think this is gonna be like the final thing. They don't want to have any type of karmic debts with this person. They can't deal with that. They've had some karma, and we all had our karmic relationships, and they had to show us, you know, they had to show us the way, you know. And I don't want to be the one, I used to be like that. I don't want to be the one to be like, so-and-so did this. Like, I'm out of that villain mode. Not villain, but victim mode. That was just the karma that I had to go through. And as elevated souls, we all have to go through that. But they don't want that. The consequences, the cause and effect was that breaking point. So the things that they used to do, they can't do that anymore. Even if they don't mean it. They just can't do that no more. And that's why that I feel like this is the end. They're not trying to carry karma, not into this union. It's over, you know. They feel like they paid those debts. I'm not gonna go through this again. Not with this union, because it's too divine. The other ones didn't mean nothing. They just made us grow, you know. I mean, I don't want to say it didn't mean nothing like that, but it's not where it's divine for us to make an impact on the world and each other. The next card is control. This is I feel like this is for both. And if I haven't said, it's masculine, feminine reading, but it can be same sex, and it can be, you know, what do they call it? The gender fluid. Like, it's not attached to an actual, you know, gender like that. So, but anyway, masculine, feminine energies as well. But I feel like they both have this control, because you can't control, and maybe that breaking point, they realize the ones usually have a higher understanding than the other one. The other ones usually in the twin flame union, they're coming into that. They're not there yet. They're more probably working off the physical, while the other ones um, working on the spiritual, but they both have control issues. But I think the breaking point was they just released it. They felt rejected and they just released it instead of trying to hold on. But the masculine definitely has some inner child works to do, because it shows a little child there. It says, by letting go of the illusion of control, we open ourselves to genuine freedom. And that's what she had to do to get this realization from that person. And then once they get that realization and awakening, they're gonna as well, like, because he can't control that, can't control her, she can't control him. So, and with me being a Capricorn, that was just something I had to learn the hard way, because you know that's just one of the characteristics of the sign is control. So for me, it's always been a something that, you know, within the healing work that had to been done, that I had to do. The next card is Mother. I think they both had strong connection to their mothers. Or it could also be something that in his realization he had to look at his mother, his sisters. That's probably him. He had to look at these two to see, like, do I really want to be treating her like, I wouldn't want a guy to be treating them that way, you know? That could be part of his realization. I think even for me, me discovering the Divine Mother, because I've always said him as God, you know. I'm having more of a deeper understanding of the mother, the deeper understanding of women. So that's part of the healing work as well. Between the two, mine could be different than his, but this could be a past life card as well. Dealing with a mother, how he treats women, you know, that could be something with that. And all you want is happiness. I mean, you both want happiness. You both want to come together and create that happiness together. Your feelings are definitely valid in that right. Who doesn't want to be happy, you know, in a world of sadness? And everything's not bad in the world like that, but we just want to always maintain that. That's the way you defeat the enemy, is by I used to be like, oh, too happy. You want to be balanced because you have emotions for a reason, but overall you don't want to have an unhappy life. You know, happiness makes your health better. So even being happy, you can overlook things that has been bad in your life. You just want to have a more optimistic attitude, or, you know, outlook on things. The next card is the North Node, Cosmic and Purpose. You know, she's working on her spiritual work. You know, even though she's going through this, and like I say, I'm dealing with the same thing. I can relate. She's working on her North Node, you know, her purpose. She can't focus and stay stuck in that, you know, that negativity. She's got to move forward. She's got to move forth, because she's going to have a mission with him, but she definitely has a purpose even outside of him, but she's got to do what she's supposed to do. And when they come together, they can have a greater purpose, you know. It's her spiritual work. She's most likely not doing the physical 3D earth work. She's most likely doing her self work for the divine. And Spirit wants you to dance. I got me some new headphones and I like to listen to music and feel that energy in me, because I haven't been listening to music in so long. It's been like a while. I have to really, really be in the mood, but it makes you feel lighthearted to dance. Even if you're like, I mean, I feel music and dance goes hand in hand as well. So if you feel like that, put some air in your hair and be free. Dance and be fancy free. Is that what they say? Look, she's so happy. Stars there, stars there, stars there. You gotta stay positive and happy. You gotta be, like they say, they can't make you happy. You gotta first make yourself happy. So, and that's very true. Especially when you, elevated souls usually, God grants them their, if they're ordained to have a mate. But God, you know, has them to work and operate alone. And in that, you have to be able to be happy with your own company, and, you know, and set up boundaries, and so you can live in peace. And that's what peace and happiness is about. The next card is order. Dare to experiment. Now that might need a clarifier, because I'm not sure what order would be. But I feel like your house is in order, because you're doing this work. You're doing this healing work. And that's the order of things. You're not focused on the chaos, you're focused on, because that person, they'll come when it's time for them to come. When Spirit has them move towards you, that's when it's time. But right now, I feel like you're doing things in order. You know, I don't think that, I don't know, maybe within yourself it was an experiment. Maybe you were like, this time around, I'm not going to chase. I'm going to be the one to do this thing that I put trust in God to help me do. But I can always get a clarifier as well. Let me see. I'm just going to pull this one. Usually this is a good message card. I don't know. Let's see. All in the golden afternoon. Inspiration, creative spark, imagination, and conception. Like I said, that's her order. She's doing her purpose. She's even getting her house in order. She's eating right. She's exercised. She's getting her circulation. She's creating her own happiness. She's doing her cosmic work. And she's released control. That's the order. That's her order of things. That was the experiment, and she did it. I don't know if you all could see that. But yeah. See, and it says the next card, accept your gifts. And she has. She's accepting her gifts, but I'm going to read the card. She's got the feathers in her hair. She's got the sun rays in the back. She's so happy. Stars here as well. And she's transformative. So she's changing. She's different. And he knows that. I'm sure he's observing too. He's watching. That's going to be his breaking point as well, through his realization. And he's coming back. I know that, because that's what he sees, this strength in her. She's holding this ball in her hand. Could be the world. But she's putting this fist up like, it's not a closed fist, but it's almost like a fist to me. Like she's She's fighting for herself. And she feels free as a bird, because that represents freedom to me as well, feathers. And the butterfly, transformative. She's creative. She's an empress, really. That's number 2. Let's see what it reads. Accept your gifts, as your unique gifts are what make you who you are, and they are the most natural path to finding your purpose. For some, gifts may come in the form of a green thumb or an innate ability to heal animals. For others, their gifts might be compassion, strong intuition, and a naturally open heart. Gifts are as varied as the billions of people who live on this earth, and no two gifts are exactly the same. It is common to receive this card when you are doubting yourself and your natural talents, as a part of us always knows what we're good at. So she receives clarity. She's got this intuitive spark about herself. She can see things. This crystal ball, she can see things, but she can also be holding the world in her hands. But she's highly intuitive. And she's using her gifts. She's accepted those gifts. And this is what it shows in this card. Conception as well. So she's like an empress. She's inspiring to others. She's got this imagination, creative spark. She could be doing, making candles, jewelry making, writing, doing readings like we're doing here. Anything that is uniquely her, she's doing it. And that's her purpose. She doesn't have time to focus on the negatives. The next card here we have is 3636. I've pulled this card before. It's change the catalyst. This is transformative, the butterfly. And that's what she's doing. And he's seeing her as, who's this new person? It's very attractive to a lot of people. 3636, embrace endings as opportunities for new beginnings. Your future is bright. So she felt like that was an ending for her, and she transferred that to her new beginning. And that's beautiful, you guys. That's a beautiful read. I feel like, and I've been doing a lot of readings with, and it's so reflective of me, but I've been doing a lot of readings with starting your own business. This is your way of getting to New Earth. We'll be working for ourselves, doing our spiritual work. That's why all these readings is always, most of them come up from working your spiritual gifts. Because I kept asking myself, like, why am I always reading these same readings? This is, even though I've done it as well, but it's like it's time. It's time, not only for me, but for you. It's time for you to start your creative work if you haven't started yet. I believe a lot of you have, but it's over now. The old earth is gone away. It's time to release that. You're not going to be doing 9 to 5s anymore. Your work is to be doing God's work, because this is your mission as an elevated soul. You don't have time to, not that you're better, I'm not saying that, I mean, those jobs are for those people, but for you, your job is to do your work to help heal others. You're a healer, so that's what you're supposed to be doing. And as you're healing others, you're healing yourself. So that's just what it is, you know. And I'm glad I'm the one that can give you, you know, that advice, because I think it's important. And I'm going to keep pushing that message, because that's what the cards reveal. So I'm going to say this again. Know that whatever decision you made, it was the right one. And this was the last card I pulled to be a crown read. So you made the right decision. Congratulations. You're on your way. So I'm very happy for you. I'm happy for myself. And That's all I have from the Divine Council. I hope you all are having a good day and you enjoyed this message. I want to thank everybody that subscribed, that liked, comment, and shared the readings. And I want to thank you for tuning in with me. And I hope you have a blissful and harmonious day. Bye.